Reverbs as well as delays are very important in music production, more especially with vocal processing. On the other hand, when these reverbs and delays are not placed really well in the mix, they tend to become a part of the problems with the mix. Let's talk about one of the various ways of processing reverbs and delays just like a pro. Yes, different people are gonna tell you different things. Nonetheless, I would say that. Let's find out how. Let's have a listen to a piece of vocal that we are gonna use for this exercise.
Through teary eyes I see the night, a once bright star now fade from sight. Emotions raw, I bleed and bite. The promise you made, you broke it.
And for the purpose of this exercise, this vocal is already routed onto a mixer track. Let's create two sender FX buses for the reverb and the delay. And we can do so just by right-clicking on any of the mixer tracks, go to Dock 2 and select right. You're gonna need two of these, so let's create another bus. Let's load up an instance of a reverb on 1. And yes, of course, you need to process this just how best you are gonna process a reverb. Let's load up an instance of a delay on the other. Just like before, you would need to process this just how best you are gonna process a delay. Let's rename and recolor these buses for easy identification. Let's go to the better part. Just before the reverb, let's load up an instance of a Fruity Peak controller. Right-click on the mix level of the slot with the reverb and select Link to Controller. From Internal Controller, select Peak. And for input, select Inverted. Press Accept. Let's go back to the Fruity Peak controller and turn the peak volume all the way up. Right after the reverb, let's load up an instance of a compressor and give it a minimum compression. So ratio 2:1 and a threshold of about -15 dB, I think would be okay for here. Let's do same for the delay send. Just before the delay, let's load up an instance of the Fruity Peak controller. Right-click on the mix level of the slot with the delay, select Link to Controller. From Internal Controller, select Peak for the delay send, and then input select Inverted. Press Accept. Let's go back to the Fruity Peak controller and turn the peak volume all the way up. And just like we did before, right after the delay, let's load up an instance of a compressor. Give it a minimum compression, so ratio 2:1. A threshold of about -15 dB would also do for here. Let's sidechain the mixer track without vocal onto the reverb and the delay sends. Click on the mixer track, right-click on the arrow down here, select sidechain to this track. Let's turn up the volume a little bit. Then we do same for the delay send. Right-click on this arrow down here, select sidechain to this track. And let's turn up the volume a little bit. What we are trying to do here is to not give prominence to the reverb and the delay throughout the entire performance. The peak controller makes sure that the reverb and the delay signal only kicks in when the vocal kicks out. And the compressor makes sure that the signal from the reverb and the delay are put to check so they don't go wayward. And with this, we are guaranteed of a precise and a clean reverb and delay effect to our vocal. Let's have a listen to our piece of vocal in the context of a beat.
Through teary eyes I see the night, a once bright star now fade from sight. Emotions raw, I bleed and bite. The promise you made, you broke it.
Let's listen to the vocal once again in solo.
Through teary eyes I see the night, a once bright star now fade from sight. Emotions raw, I bleed and bite. The promise you made, you broke it.
I hope this helps. And just in case you find this helpful, kindly follow for more stuff like this.